Hello, habari, bonjour, good afternoon, and welcome to The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African Time. It's 6 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time, and we're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursday it is, and we hope that you're having a fantastic time so far and a productive day, I might add. And we've got quite a few things lined up for you on the show this afternoon, and you can stream us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on X, Instagram as well. Check us out on DSTV channel 802, OpenView channel 628, and as always, I would love to hear from you on our WhatsApp line. Where are you listening to us from this afternoon? +27 63 406 9126 is the WhatsApp line. Here's what's coming up on The Upside this afternoon. We talk about the shocking rise of intergenerational blesser-blessee relationships and how deep poverty, unemployment, and gender inequality are driving South Africa's youth into these dangerous dependencies. We also talk about the psychological impact long term of being in such relationships. That's going to happen in the first hour. Then in the second hour, we get into conversation about pen fine art. When last did you go on social media and you saw someone tagging or writing in the captions, "This painting or this drawing was made entirely out of a pen"? They used the blue ball pen and they just drew this incredible picture, and you can't believe that it was a pen. Pen fine art on the African continent. Have we adopted it? Have we embraced it? And how big a market is it on the African continent? And then finally, for the fashion lovers out there, we head to the Vilioti Fashion Institute's free winter workshop. This is going to be a workshop to introduce you to the business side of fashion. I said earlier during the throw forward, if you are trying to get into the fashion industry yourself and want to know the ins and outs, then this workshop is ideally for you. And then later on, we've got What Caught Your Eye. No doubt the conversation that we'll be having in studio is the current shall we call it media briefing by the former Deputy Secretary of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, Floyd Shivambu. Suffice to say, he's saying he's not leaving the party. I'll leave it there. We'll give you more later on. And on this day in African history, it was in 1913 when the Natives Land Act in South Africa was passed. This was a legislation that legally formalized racial segregation in land ownership. It restricted black South Africans to owning only 7% of the land. Later it increased to 13%, while the remaining 87% was reserved for white ownership. Can you believe that? We are in 2025 now. This rule or this act was then repealed in 1991 under the Abolition of Racially Based Land Measures Act. There's a little piece of history there for you. In 1913, the Natives Land Act was passed in South Africa. I was saying earlier that we're in 2025 right now, and some people may still think and believe that, the black people are not seeing a lot of the land still. 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to The Upside.
Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
Zochitika ndi madaphiri. Kamlondola wazochitika pena paliponse.
Nduna wazamalonda kumalawi waletsa kampani yopanga shuga ya Irovo yomwe ndi nthambi ya Irovo Sugar Group Limited kuti isiye kutumiza shuga kumaiko akunja. Malingana ndi nduna ya zamalonda Vitumbuko Mumba, izi zitha ndiza kuti shuga yemwe yakusowa pamsika azipezeka. Ndiye pano ndili ndi George Muhangu amene ali mu mzinda wa Blantyre mu dziko la Malawi. Chimene chikupangitsa kuti shuga azisowa ndi chani?
Chomwe chikupangitsa kuti shuga azisowa ndichonena kuti panopo ili ngati off season ya makampani a Irovo Sugar Malawi, kunena kuti sakutha kupanga shugayi okwanira chifukwa akukolola. Ndiye akamaliza kukolola pameneno atayambeno sopano kugaya shugayi kuti azipezeka. Chinanso ndichonena kuti ma distributors amene akumakagula shuga kaya ndi ku Irovo kaya ndi kusalima shuga akumagulisa ku maiko akunja ngati Zambia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Mozambique.
Zochitika ndi Madaphiri. Lolemba mpaka lachisanu pa nthawi ya 7 koloko kufikira 8 koloko madzulo pa Channel Africa.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
In recent weeks, East Africa has seen a disturbing rise in human rights violations. In Kenya, digital activist Rose Njeri was arrested under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act after creating a tool for citizens to oppose the Finance Bill 2025. Meanwhile, in Tanzania, Kenyan activist Boniface Mwangi and Ugandan lawyer Agatha Atuhaire reported being detained, tortured, and sexually assaulted by security officers.
East Africa needs a reset. We need to get back East Africa to where the founding fathers are. When President Nyerere and his colleagues, Jomo Kenyatta and the Ugandan counterparts fought for independence. They fought for independence to get Africans out of poverty, to get Africans out of slavery. The leaders who took up power have since gotten into regression.
Neto Agostino, co-leader of the United Green Movement Party.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine.
The Upside. On the Upside. Your voice matters.
It's Chris with the drama boy.
Find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madaphiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine, 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda, as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Muteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madaphiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m., 5 till 6. We put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8.
Time African Beauty by Diamond Platinums featuring Omarion. Welcome to The Upside. If you've just joined us, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African Time. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Stream us live on Facebook and on YouTube at Channel Africa. Now, as youth unemployment soars past 62%, a silent crisis is growing behind closed doors. South Africa's harsh economic realities are driving more young women into relationships with much older men. What many call blesser-blessee relationships. But behind the gifts, the trips, and the designer bags lies a dangerous and powerful imbalance with long-term psychological consequences. Today we unpack the tough truths behind this disturbing new trend with Sindisiwe Msimango, representative for the National Shelter Movement of South Africa. Sindisiwe, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's talk about the findings that stood out for you, and perhaps those who are new to the concept of blesser-blessee relationships. Let's unpack what that actually means and what that actually looks like.
So blesser-blessee relationships or intergenerational relationships refer to sexual or romantic transactional relationships between individuals who belong to significantly different age groups, often a substantial age gap. So these relationships often involve a partner who is considerably older than the other. That is why they are commonly known as blesser-blessee relationships. And with these relationships, they often arise from a mix of structural disadvantage or gendered power imbalances and emotional or material needs. Yeah.
And Sindisiwe, what is driving this?
You would find that what's driving these intergenerational relationships is the socio-economic imbalance, your poverty, your social, cultural standards. You find that young women are not empowered financially or economically, and then they tend to gravitate towards men who are there to provide for them, who are offering like economical or financial freedom.
It is 19 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. We are in conversation with Sindisiwe Msimango, representative for the National Shelter Movement in South Africa. A statistic recently has revealed that 82.8% of young women in impoverished areas in South Africa are engaging in sexual relations with men much older than them. And we'll continue the conversation right after this. It is now 20 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. If you'd like to share your sentiments regarding these shocking statistics that we have just revealed, you're more than welcome to share them on our WhatsApp line, +2763 406 9126.
June is Youth Month in South Africa. Celebrate Africa's young voices with us. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
Well, let's continue our conversation about intergenerational relationships on the rise in South Africa at the moment. And we're currently in conversation with Sindisiwe Msimango, representative for the National Shelter Movement of South Africa. Sindisiwe, you mentioned earlier, we described what a blesser-blessee relationship is, what it looks like. And then we also spoke about the causes, what could potentially be fueling and driving that: unemployment, poverty. But then when we go a bit deeper on this psychologically, what does one's childhood experience, what role does that then play, especially for the women, in them finding themselves in these relationships when they're older?
You'll find that most women, as you know, they grow up in these child-headed households where there's no parent present. They have to fend for themselves, and that leads them to gravitating towards, being in relationships with elder men who will be there to provide for them. Young women get into these relationships, and for this economical freedom, there's no empowerment, there's no I might say there's no support within the household to support them. So they get into these relationships to get money, to get clothes. There's also this peer pressure from friends where they see this nice lifestyle and they want to do that. Some of these women, they get into these relationships because the parents, they were victims of gender-based violence. Yeah. And now the mother now is like, there's no money to fend for the children. So you'll find these young girls will now go out of the house to go and get money to bring into the household so that there's food for the night. So it's all these things that contribute to these relationships.
Some may say, being in a relationship with someone who's older than you, it sounds normal. At what age range do we then say this is now a cause for concern? Because when you look at men dating women, oftentimes they're dating someone who's younger than them, 3-5 years age gap. At what age range do we then say, no, that's a cause for concern, and we need to look out when we are seeing our daughters dating someone within this particular range, because there might be an imbalance there that we need to look out for?
When it comes to young people, we have the Children's Act, which stipulates that children under the age of 18, you cannot date them because that would be statutory. Yeah. So even you'd find women who are 25 and they're dating a 50-year-old. So we can't say, which is the appropriate age where we must be concerned. Because this is happening in all the age gaps. A woman can be 40 dating a 70-year-old who's a millionaire. A child can be 12 dating a 30-year-old who's providing for them financially. So it's a concern for all young women and girls. It's not that there's no age bracket, if I may put it like that.
All right.
Because it's happening across all ages.
Yeah. Psychologically, long term, what effects does or do these relationships then have on the girls, the young ladies, and also perhaps even we're talking about women right now, but I know that there are some men who are also in relationships with older women. Let's talk about the psychological effects that these intergenerational relationships may have on them.
Okay. The psychological effects in terms of intergenerational relationships, people often experience a wide range of negative psychological effects, particularly when the relationship is of an exploitative nature and is rooted in socio-economic vulnerability. Many are affected by anxiety, you have depression, they have suicidal thoughts, and in severe cases, there's psychosis that's linked to substance abuse. They often feel degraded and powerless in these relationships, and they cannot leave due to the lack of resources that they are gaining from these relationships. So they are really psychologically impacted. And as you said, even men who also enter into these relationships, they are not far from this. They are also impacted by such intergenerational relationships.
And are there any forms of emotional and perhaps even gender-based violence that emerge from such relationships because of those power dynamics?
Most definitely, because now if you have a person who's more subordinate, a person who has the money, that person is in control. You are basically giving your whole self to them just so that you get something. So the elements of gender-based violence is always there. You will find that it's not only gender-based violence, but also emotional and psychological abuse also occurs in these types of relationships, because the person who has the most power is the one with the money, and that's often the blesser. And you'd find that they would degrade you, they call you names, and there's nothing you can do about it because you are dependent on them. And the gender-based violence, and you mentioned it, and you don't leave because you are expecting something in return.
Prevention will always be the focus and the way that we need to focus on going forward. What preventative measures do we need to put in place in our societies, in our homesteads, as parents, as communities, as friends, as government? What do we need to do to ensure that this does not continue to rise?
Yeah, in the research that the clinical psychologist Bongile Sibanyoni had conducted, she came up with a few recommendations, such as psychoeducation in schools, which involves early intervention programs to educate young girls and boys about their mental conditions, available treatments and resources, coping strategies, and resilience that can assist them in terms of interacting or just getting to know what is out there in the world. Also having brief psychotherapy for those showing early signs of distress, and intensive psychotherapy for young women and young girls who are severely impacted by gender-based violence in terms of the intergenerational relationships. In her research, she also stressed that the government needs to play a more proactive role, NGOs and businesses also, to support these initiatives, because this cannot be dealt only with by family members alone or the community. Like, everybody has to have a collaborative approach in order to tackle this issue.
Say now I know someone who is in a relationship, an intergenerational relationship, and I feel just through observation, because they are a friend of mine, a close confidant, and I'm realizing that it's a rather unhealthy relationship that they find themselves in. Where do I go? Are there support structures in place? Or even if I am in that situation myself and I'm realizing that it's a rather unhealthy relationship, where can I go to find support?
We have shelters within South Africa. As you know, I'm from the National Shelter Movement of South Africa. We also have a gender-based hotline that people can call, 0800 001 005. You can also send an SMS or WhatsApp, or please call me to 082 057 8600. Or you can send an email to info@nationalsm.org.za. As I said, there are also shelters all around the country which deal with gender-based violence. There are social workers who are very equipped and very knowledgeable on such issues, who can take you through the steps on what to do should you need assistance.
Sindisiwe, thank you so much for your time this afternoon and for shining a light on this very important conversation. And we certainly hope that those listening in on this conversation, those who have been affected, will now know know where to go and also look out for the signs around them amongst the youth in their communities or within their own families. But thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Sindisiwe Msimango, representative for the National Shelter Movement of South Africa, just talking to us about the rising intergenerational relationships in South Africa, blesser relationships. And we certainly hope that the advice and the tips that she's given, we will use to curb the rise in these intergenerational relationships. It's 1:30 p.m. Central African Time. Figile Lingwati has your sports news.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Good afternoon to you, Tebogo. And we begin with football news this hour. The national women's football team, Harambee Starlets, will be aiming for a top spot at the ongoing CECAFA Senior Challenge in Dar es Salaam when they take on winless South Sudan at the Azam Complex today. The Beldine or Demba Chargers are eyeing their third successive win in the regional tournament that is being played in a round-robin format. A win for Kenya and hope Tanzania are at least held by champions Uganda will see them climb to the summit of the log and stay on course to reclaiming the title they last won in 2019. Starlets will enter the match boosted by two back-to-back huge wins against Burundi, whom they thrashed 3-0 and demolished Uganda 4-0. These wins have placed the Starlets in second place in the standings on 6 points, same as leaders host Tanzania, who have a superior goal difference. Mohamed El Shanawi says Al Ahly must show sharper concentration and win, not draw, when they face Palmeiras in Thursday's pivotal Club World Cup group match in New Jersey. The captain's late heroics preserved a 0-0 stalemate against Inter Miami on match day 1. The Egypt international clawing Lionel Messi's stoppage time effort out of the humid Florida night. Yet, a 35-year-old believes a single point is only a platform, not a prize. And now boxing news. South African leading boxing trainer and manager Colin Nomaganjani Nathan says WBO junior bantamweight world champion Phumelela the Truth Khavu's next fight is arguably one of the biggest ever to involve a South African. Khavu will on the 19th of next month line up in a unification bout against WBC title holder Jesse Bam Rodriguez at the Stars Sports Center in Texas, USA. This will be Khavu's first title defense since he won in Japan in October last year against Kosei Tanaka. Nathan is confident of pulling off yet another upset.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. Also one of the biggest fights involving a South African for international boxing, so it's just great to be part of, what's going to happen on the 19th of July, especially when we produce an upset. So looking forward to that. It's a massive opportunity. Behind the scenes is often like a game of chess. You got to have the right chess piece, which we had with Phumelela, with the WBO title, and we also knew that Bam with his agreement with Matchroom, and they were putting pressure on Matchroom to get a unification going. So we knew the IBF was out.
Rodriguez, a respected and a highly rated two-division world champion, also holds the prestigious Ring Magazine title, making this unification title bout a huge money spinner. Nathan says this bout will change Khavu's life on and off the ring.
Of course, I mean, look, the financial reward's massive. It's a great opportunity for South African boxing and Phumelela. Obviously, this fight's going to change his life. The previous fight changed his life, and this fight's going to propel him to another level. It's not just going to be an African star. You're looking at a global boxing star when he beats Jesse. So very excited about the fight, very excited about the stage, very excited about just another unification. It's just great for South African and African boxing.
And finally, with the athletics, Sydney 2000 Olympic gold medalist and chairperson of the technical committee for the CAA Under-18, Under-20 African Athletics Championship, Inefiogo Udo Obong, has expressed confidence that the upcoming competition will play a crucial role in discovering Nigeria's future Olympic stars. Speaking ahead of the championship scheduled to hold from the 16th to the 20th of July at the MKO Abiola International Stadium, Abiokuta Udo Obong urged participating countries and athletes not to see the event as a do-or-die affair, focus only on results, but rather as a platform for long-term athletes' development. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Phile Lengwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África, com Remo Samo e João Yabalá.
O surto da cólera em Angola tem causado grande preocupação, afetando já mais de metade das províncias do país. Simultaneamente, a Agência dos Estados Unidos para o Desenvolvimento Internacional, USAID, um dos maiores doadores mundiais de assistência humanitária, decidiu não priorizar os países com maior incidência de malária. Para discutirmos as causas do alastramento da cólera em Angola e os impactos dessa decisão da USAID, convidamos o Dr. Jeremias Agostinho, médico e mestre em saúde pública, para partilhar a sua visão sobre o tema.
A doença, nesse momento, representa o maior risco de saúde pública que nós temos. Nos últimos anos, a nossa preocupação esteve sempre centrada com os casos de malária, os casos de tuberculose e também de infecção por VIH-Sida. A forma como, em pouco menos de 2 meses, os casos de cólera vêm aumentando, acaba por representar, nessa altura, um dos maiores desafios que o país tem. É expectável que, nesta fase, o número de casos venha a aumentar.
De segunda a sexta-feira, das 20 às 21 horas locais, este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África.
36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's head on over now to Nosipho Zuma, who has your business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, South Africa's Minister of Electricity and Energy, Dr. Hosienzo Ramokgopa, says government is ready to implement the South African Renewable Energy Master Plan as part of its energy policy on electricity development. Now, the aim of the plan is to fast-track the procurement of renewable energy, ensure renewable or reliable energy planning, and expand the electricity grid to accommodate new projects, among other issues. Ramokgopa was speaking on the third day of the Africa Energy Forum in Cape Town.
Through SAREC, we are embedding industrialization into our energy transition, not as an afterthought, but as a central strategy to secure sovereignty, create jobs, and build long-term competitiveness. A core pillar of energy security is the ability to build, operate, and maintain critical energy infrastructure with domestic capacity. No nation can claim sovereignty whilst outsourcing the very foundations of its development. South Africa has demonstrated time and again that it possesses the industrial mettle to rise to complex challenges.
South African Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana has emphasized the need to prioritize the public funding of political parties. Godongwana was speaking at the Independent Electoral Commission Political Funding Symposium in Durban today. The symposium is aimed at reflecting on the success and challenges seen over the last 4 years since the implementation of the Political Party Funding Act and a way forward. Godongwana, who addressed the media after this address, explained his call for political parties to be fully funded by the public.
Political parties, by their very nature, are public institutions. And if you don't use taxpayers' money to fund them, then we are making them vulnerable to be hijacked by individuals or corporates.
Empowering female trade has been one of the topics of discussions on the sidelines of the Commonwealth Business Summit currently underway in Windhoek, Namibia, at a plenary session focusing on female innovators, change makers, and leaders from across the Commonwealth. Dr. Emma Kandemba Gomez, Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare in Windhoek, Namibia, delivered an address under the theme Gender in Trade, Empowering Female Entrepreneurs in the Commonwealth. She spoke about the Namibian gender equality policy.
The policy ensures that women, men, youth, persons living with disabilities, those communities from the marginalized society gain equal and equitable access to training, markets, productive resources, and technology foundations essential for women entrepreneurship and to advance trade.
Meanwhile, delegates at the Commonwealth Business Summit are also discussing how digitalization can reduce business costs for micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs. They are hoping to find ways to mitigate risks and support small businesses in engaging in international trade within the Commonwealth member states. Calvin Katukula, a research manager at Namibia's National Commission on Research, Science and Technology, explains.
We are not only coordinating research in the country, but we also inform policy. So the policy discussions that are taking place here forms part of the mandate of NCRSD on how we can be able to advise the government and also Parliament in streamlining the policy advice pertaining to the deliberations that are taking place from this summit.
And finally, oil prices have begun to edge up in the past hour after Israel said it attacked Iranian nuclear sites in Natanz and Iraq overnight. And as investors grappled with fear of a broader conflict in the Middle East that could disrupt crude supplies. Brent crude oil is now trading at $77 a barrel. Analysts have struggled to predict the extent to which the escalating conflict would influence prices, and today's price movements are further evidence of this. Your financial indicators: $1 US in Nigeria is trading at 1,543 naira 57. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 28. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shillings 60, and in Zambia it's 24 kwacha 11. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rupee 49. Russia is 78 rubles 47. India is 86 rupees 43. China at 71.18, and in South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand 99. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,369 and platinum at $1,286 per ounce. And the price of Brent crude oil is at $76.97 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Nosipho Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Embrace our young voices this month. Channel Africa, celebrating Youth Month. In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Thulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Thulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
Young Mais moi dans la foyer qui l'aime on commence causer ou pas parler pour écouter.
Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m. 5 till 6, we put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique with Joël Moteba. We go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Zochi Tika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia. 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana. 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and arts and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted. If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now, what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and arts and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted. If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now, what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Audio Bouquet, Channel 628.
I offer you nothing else, and girl, you don't get any issue. Girl, I go hold you well, and I go do anything that you wish. Me share my heart, so don't blame me for you. No one hears it tomorrow. Somebody else come take you for you. They do me lomo. This thing no be normal. Me no want to do more. Please don't give me trouble. You they do me lomo. This thing no be normal. You go be my lover. Bring it on, what is on your mind? Yeah, baby, and it's a Bonnie and Clyde, babe. And all that you promised to show and tell me no time or soon when I'm right here. You and I together, so we go together. take my pain away. What I give up for love. I don't want to be so jealous. If you leave me, baby, chaos. When size up, you too fine, oh girl, I want you for you. Something nice, I don't mind, me I want me, I get me, so don't beg me for you. I know what you say tomorrow, somebody else don't take you for you. They do me lama. This thing no be normal. Me no want to do more. Please don't give me trouble. They do me lama. This thing no be normal. No be my lover. Do me lippy like
It is 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African Time. Kiddy and Black Sheriff giving you Lomo from Ghana. Before that, we had music from the Seychelles with Double Conscience. I didn't know there were artists. It sounds wrong saying it like that. I didn't know there were artists from the Seychelles. I must do some more research and find out who else we can find from the Seychelles, Sao Tome and Principe. It's going to be an interesting one. Anyway, it's 9 minutes before 10 p.m. 2 p.m. Central African Time. This is The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African Time. Stream us on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube to see our lovely studios and the presenters. Right, I'll be back in half a second time. Don't miss me too much.
The Midnight Snack, every Monday, 12 to 3 a.m. with Tebogo Lekhuleni.
Say, Nana, say, Nana, say.
That is just me trying to imagine myself as a backup singer for Zonke because her music is just beautiful. As the song was playing, I was just, moving like a backup singer. You know how they are, with their hands being so dramatic and, putting that spice into the song. So the song is called Say Now, and we love it here on the Midnight Snack. I hope you also love it.
Let's talk love, intimacy, and relationships on the Midnight Snack with Tebogo Lekhuleni. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
I saw me to look Gelatoni, oh baby, sumoyo deep, baby, kona waka when you tamalicha.
Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted.
If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now, what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted.
If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now, what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted.
If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now, what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is?
Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is...
Before 2 p.m. Central African Time, Mona Lisa, Low J, and SARS. I was 2 years old when I found out that in Nigeria, and you're more than welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, on the WhatsApp line +2763 406 9126. That in Nigeria, you know how we pay in most countries, in South Africa, we pay rent monthly. In Nigeria, they pay annually for the whole year. You pay that for the most part, or the average is around 4 million nairas, 4 to 5 million nairas, the average, and that's sort of the higher end. That's about 3-point-something thousand rand a month, equating to about 50,000 or somewhere just under 60,000 rand for the whole year. You pay that entire amount before you move in. Then you pay admin fee, contractor, agent fees, all these things. You pay that all once off for the whole year. How crazy is that? What if you just started a job, you just moved to Abuja, new job opportunities, maybe you're a student, been unemployed for quite some time, and now you have to find your own apartment, and they're saying pay that 4 million naira before you move in for the whole year. So that means you must go to your family, the parents must chime in, everyone must chime in. My goodness, how are you navigating this? Nigerians, let me know on our WhatsApp line, +27 63 406 9126. It is the 19th of June, 2025. And if it's your birthday today, happy birthday. How old are you now? I would love to hear from you. Send me a WhatsApp, +27 63 406 9126. For now, though, as the Upside, we'd like to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
It was both happy birthday and happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday and happy birthday to you all who are celebrating a special day today. We hope you're having a fantastic one. And I hope you didn't go to work. There is this trend where people, even if it's their birthday, they like to go to work. There was a time when it was your birthday, we would not see you for the whole week. That whole birthday week, in fact, some people would go away for the whole month. We would not see you. Now people go to work on their birthdays. I mean, look, listen, I am one of them. And maybe we must study me first because I'm one of them. But do you go to work on your birthday? Or do you take the whole week off to celebrate it because you are a legend and you need to be celebrated? +27 63 406 9126. And again, if you are in Nigeria or any other part of Africa, where the same principle applies, where you don't pay rent on a monthly basis, but pay it for the whole year in advance. How are you navigating that? How are you managing it? Where are you getting the funds, especially if you have been unemployed for some time and now you're seeking greener pastures, you've gotten a new job? How are you going about doing that? Do you get a loan? Does family chime in and chip in on this particular massive expense? Let me know. And should those countries' regulators not change those laws so that it eases the pockets of the people living there? I know in Nigeria there was a bill that was passed a couple of years ago in 2022 to sort of mitigate and reduce those year-long contracts and say instead pay on a monthly basis. But the implementation of that has been very slow. So a lot of people in Nigeria are still paying rent for the whole year. Let me know. +27 63 406 9126. It's 2 p.m. Central African time. Jwalani Tulongwepe has your news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Top stories. Asawa, Zambia's government and former President Edgar Lungu's family still at loggerheads, and Iran missiles inflict significant damage in Israel. Good afternoon. Zambia's Minister of Information Cornelius Mwetwa says the government will continue to engage the family of late President Edgar Lungu in a bid to resolve the impasse between them. The late leader's family stopped the repatriation from going ahead shortly before he was destined to fly back to Zambia yesterday over a feud with the Zambian government. Lungu died in South Africa earlier this month. Mwetwa says they want the former president to have a dignified burial.
The government of the Republic of Zambia is, under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, is not tiring up in engaging the family to ensure that former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is repatriated back to his homeland, Zambia, and be given a befitting, dignified, farewell. That is what we are working at. That is what President Hakainde Hichilema is working at to ensure that this impasse is resolved.
Former Umkhonto weSizwe Party Secretary General Floyd Shivambu has announced that he's kicking off the consultation process on whether he should start a political party in South Africa. Shivambu has broken in silence on the reasons for his removal, saying it was due to false allegations of him seeking to take over the party. While he accused members of the MK party of corruption, he maintained his admiration for the party president Jacob Zuma, saying he learned more from him in 6 months than he did in his decade at the Economic Freedom Fighters. Shivambu explains the consultation process.
So to the comrades that came to say let us form a political party, we said that we can't take that decision. Let us subject that process to the people of South Africa. So we're here today to announce that we're going to be convening the process of consulting the people of South Africa on the formation of a political movement that will be a true representative of the people of South Africa, and not a personal project, and not a group of friends project, not a cult, and not a fiefdom. So over the next few months, we will be consulting.
South African politician Julius Malema, central to a row over race relations in the country, has been denied entry to the UK. The Home Office said Malema had been deemed non-conducive to the public good and that it was undesirable to grant him entry. Joey Lekhuleni reports.
In a letter published by local media outlet News 24, the UK government cited his vocal support for Hamas, including a speech he made after the 7 October attacks in which he said his own party would arm the group if it came into power. The UK also raised his threat to call for the slaughter of white people and to take up arms as a reason for the rejection. This is the second time Malema has been denied entry to the UK in just 2 months. The UK said he has no right of appeal and was likely to be denied any future applications.
Ivory Coast says it is working with the US Embassy to meet conditions that could prevent it from being included in a potential expansion of US travel restrictions. Government spokesperson Amadou Coulibaly told reporters after a cabinet meeting that Ivory Coast has 2 months to provide requested documentation to US authorities. A leaked US State Department cable last week revealed plans to potentially add 36 countries, including Ivory Coast, to an existing travel ban list. And finally, Iranian missiles have inflicted significant damage in Israel, breaking through its air defenses on the 7th day of conflict. Dozens of people were injured as Iran struck several locations. The BBC's Dan Johnson has the details.
The latest wave of missiles fired by Iran prompted air raid alerts and air defence interceptions across Israel around 7 a.m. local time this morning. But some missiles did get through. Buildings have been damaged in Tel Aviv, and further south in Beersheba, around 50 people were injured when the Soroka hospital was hit, damaging wards which had been mostly evacuated. Israel's defense minister accused Iran of war crimes and ordered an intensification of attacks in retaliation, targeting, he said, Iran's power network. Israel Katz said Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei would be held accountable, and Israel's military would continue strikes to eliminate the threat to its citizens.
Recapping the top story this hour, Zambia's Minister of Information, Cornelius Murtwa, says the government will continue to engage with the family of the late former President Edgar Lungu in a bid to resolve the impasse between them. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Cholani Tulo Mwebe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Well, it's 6 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the second hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. And you can stream us live, see our lovely studio at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube. Happy Thursday. It is a thirsty Thursday for a lot of people who still celebrate. Celebrate Phuza Thursdays? I don't know if I've ever gone through that period of celebrating Phuza Thursdays, but I know there are some who do, because the weekend is indeed around the corner. If you have DSTV, channel 802 is where you'll find us, OpenView channel 628, and as always, you can download the SABC Plus app so you can take us with you wherever you go. Coming up on this hour on The Upside, we get into conversation with a pen fine artist. I need to get the right lingo there. Creating beautiful art pieces using a pen. That's drawing with a pen, a ballpoint pen. I know some people may have seen such art on social media, on Instagram, even on TikTok, while we get into conversation with a young sensation from Uganda who is doing the most. As we are still celebrating the youth in South Africa, we now go to Uganda to celebrate an artist there. That conversation is coming up in a few seconds' time. I tell you what, sticking to Uganda, and I didn't plan this, it was not intentional. I realized that you don't have to go to comedy clubs. In South Africa and Africa, you don't have to go to comedy clubs for stand-up comedy anymore. Just watch parliamentary proceedings. Anywhere on the African continent, it's not just South Africa. Today we go to Uganda and see what's happening in parliament in Uganda. Try not to laugh.
That is now literally impassable. 6 months down the road after the commission by the president himself, and there's no work whatsoever. Mr. Minister, can we please have a clear plan when the work is going to begin?
Honestly speaking, because of the complicated accent my colleague is using, I've only had 3 words. I've only had the word community and the Chikorongo. If that's the case, let me get in touch with the honorable colleague to get more details, and we see how to sort that problem out. Thank you.
If you have any more videos that we can share with the African continent for our Try Not to Laugh segment, send them through to our WhatsApp line +27634069126 or on our TikTok platform at Channel Africa 1. Don't go anywhere. We get into conversation with the Ugandan artist doing the most with a ballpoint pen. We all own a pen. Somewhere in your house there's a pen. This young man is creating art out of it. Let's find out where it all began, and let's find out if there is a market for such art. How is he marketing it throughout the continent, not just in Uganda? And what has the uptake been so far? That conversation is coming up next. It's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the second hour of The Upside.
Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here. Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine.
I want the Africa that makes every single African proud of the continent.
Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted.
If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now, what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted.
If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now, what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni.
Is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m., 5 till 6. We put on a little bit more color. You've heard the freak. With Joel Moteba, we go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa with I Am Shakif. Madapiri gives us some life. Sochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Maria Mokumal comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shayla Ndikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online. This is Channel Africa. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palisa and Benjamin, digging into the the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu. Getting in-depth, powerful stories, and the perspective you won't hear anywhere else. The Upside, 1 till 4, live and real, with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Nompumelelo Ngubeni. Tame Ngubeni talks money, Africa in business, 4 till 5 p.m., 5 till 6. We put on a little bit more color. Vue d'Afrique. With Joël Moteba, we go to East and Central Africa and find Darubinia Africa. With I Am Shakif, Madapiri gives us some life. Zochitika, 7 till 8 p.m. Mariamo Kumalo comes in 8 till 9. We get some useful knowledge. Kalodiscopia, 9 till 10. We take a look in Africa and beyond. Africa World Hour with Sipiso Makwetla. And we close it up with some love. The Hotlines with Shailen Dikumana, 10 till 12 p.m. on Channel Africa. Across borders, across time zones, on air, online.
Beautiful music coming to you from Gabon. Cœur and Raison with Making featuring Emma. It's 15 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to The Upside if you've just joined us with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni. It's the Thursday edition of the show. The weekend is upon us. Tomorrow is Friday. And I know that it was already a short week as it was, because in South Africa, it was a holiday on Monday, Youth Day. So a lot of people had a long weekend and a very short work week. So today is technically almost Friday. Not almost Friday. It's actually Thursday. I lie. It's Thursday, and tomorrow is Friday. So the weekend is upon us, and we certainly hope that you're enjoying the show so far. We're about to get into conversation with a pen fine artist from Uganda. Have you seen pen fine art on social media? It's the ones that look like they were drawn using a blue ballpoint pen. But the detailing on it is absolutely breathtaking. It's out of this world. And we've got an artist here from Uganda who does just that. From Kampala to the world, and from the simplest tool, a ballpoint pen, comes art that stops you in your tracks. Eric Joe, known as Erimars, art is redefining contemporary African storytelling through hyper-realistic pen fine art. His work captures the untold stories of marginalized communities with a level of detail and emotion that earned him Africa's prestigious Big Art Master title and the Absa Atelier Award. But beyond the beauty lies sharp social commentary and the growing international market for African fine art. Today we unpack the art, the business, and the bold vision behind Erimar's art. Eric, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Eric, before we get into your work, I'm already seeing a few of your artwork on my screen, and I know that having checked out your social media platform, your Instagram handle, I was just left in awe when I saw your artwork. Let's talk about why the pen. Why did you decide to use the pen as your medium of expression? Not the paintbrush, not a pencil, not charcoal. Why the pen?
I think I'll start from the basics. I didn't choose to use pen. I think I just didn't have what to use by then, because I started drawing using pen in 2020. That was COVID-19. By then I was at the university. So remember the lockdown, they tell you all to go back home. So I didn't carry a lot because I thought maybe the lockdown would just close in a minute or after 2 weeks. But back then I was a painter and I also used graphite or pencils. So when I went back home, I didn't carry anything with me. So I left everything at my place. Being in the lockdown, it kept on extending. As an artist, you get bored. So then I just decided to maybe try out pen, because I didn't have any media to use or any tools, so I used pen. And yeah, this is where I am now. Jokingly, I never went back. So
So, Eric, has art always been there for you? Have you always known that this is the path that you were going to take from when you were a child?
Yeah. I started in Uganda. We have primary. I don't know if there were primary levels in SA, but I started my art in primary as a cartoonist. By the way, I didn't know that I would do it professionally.
Yeah.
I just loved the vibe and everything that comes with it. So I think in 2020, that's when because actually even before lockdown, I didn't do it professionally. I could just do it for fun, draw people I like, draw celebrities. Then that's in 2020 when I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And yeah, gratitude.
And the rest is history, as they say. Let
Yeah.
let the pen continue to write the story. It's now 19 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. We are currently in conversation with pen fine artist Eric Joe, known as Erimars Art. And if you are still new to pen fine art, and perhaps you want to delve into it yourself, Eric is the right person to guide us along this journey. We'll continue the conversation right after this.
Call us on +27 63 406 9126.
I can see my whole world changing.
And contribute to the conversation.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
They talk about what Africans say about Africa.
Well, let's continue our conversation with pen fine artist Eric Joe, popularly known as Erimars Art, from Kampala, Uganda. Eric, let's talk about formal training. Did you get any formal training to become an artist, or were you self-taught? Did you go on YouTube, the social media to finesse your craft?
No. Actually, for any artist who is there, I think you just need to apply the maybe the skills you've got from a different medium, and then you apply them in another medium. So, as I told you before, I was a pencil artist. So all I did was to carry my skill from pencil to pen. Yeah. So definitely, you though when you start to explore a certain new terrain, you definitely have to go out and search people who have been doing it for some time. I had to go, though it's funny, but all the people I was looking at were pencil artists. So I wasn't looking at pen artists. I was looking at pencil artists because I wanted to draw with a pen, but in a pencil way. You get. So I didn't get any education or skills from anyone. I just taught it myself. Consistency maybe and practicing.
I tell you what, Eric, your art is so hyper realistic. I mean, you already have an art piece that is right behind you right now that we can see. Tell us how long does it take you to create that piece of art? Just that one behind you. It is so detailed and so realistic. How long does it take you?
Okay, this piece behind me is part of the solo exhibition I'm working out with Absalatlia of South Africa. So back then, with my old works, I used to take almost 4 weeks to maybe 3 weeks, but this one took me approximately 2.5 weeks because I'm rushing. Yeah, you might see detailed, but it's not that detailed according to my test. But I'm just rushing, like getting work done for my solo exhibition.
Yeah, you are a perfectionist, Eric, is what you are. Because from where I stand and from what I can see, That is absolute perfection. And now let's talk about the stories that you are telling through your art. I mentioned earlier that you're reflecting the voice of the marginalized. What are the stories? Was this intentional from the start when you said, this is the medium I'm going for, and these are the stories that I want to tell?
I would say yes, and again I would say no. But back then, when I was starting with pain, I'm just I enjoy or I love natural hair. I enjoy looking at people's hair and everything. So back then, I would just love to draw people with afro and in different African hairstyles. That's still when I tried to apply for a certain job in my country, and they couldn't allow me to have it because of the way I was looking. And then that's why I was like, okay, now this is my thing because we need to wake up some people. Yeah, so that's because there are certain jobs where if at all you're looking in a certain way, they won't give you the job. They'll be like, no, we can't accept you because of that. Yeah, unless when you have to change the way you look, you have to trim it off, or you have to style it in a different way according to how they want. So I felt so bad because I couldn't get that opportunity because definitely I didn't want to trim off my hair. It had taken some time to grow it. So
yeah,
that's when I started to voice that through my art and like to try to communicate it out to the public, to make them know that definitely we really left the other colonialism part of it, and now we have to embrace ourselves as blacks, and this is how we look, and the hair is part of us.
And how does it feel knowing that your artwork, it doesn't just reach throughout Uganda, Kampala, but throughout the African continent and globally as well? People have spoken about your art pieces and have shared incredible stories about how it has touched them. What does that mean to you, knowing that the whole world is appreciating the work that you're doing?
Artist, for any artist who is watching and listening, I'm sure all we love is for people is to appreciate and see what we create. So it really humbled me, and I'm so glad that people get to see what I create and get to appreciate and maybe even research and get to know more about what I'm trying to communicate through my art. I'm so humbled and glad. Yeah. It really means a lot for any artist to get your work viewed in with the way you want it to be viewed. Yeah.
And how are you going about ensuring that your art piece doesn't just reflect on social media where people can consume it anywhere around the world, but that it also gets exhibited in museums, in art galleries? How are you going about at the moment sharing those art pieces to other places, not just in Uganda?
I think the avenue now I'm trying to move towards is maybe applying for certain representations and certain organization. Also, I have a website. Where someone can come and see my work, but also I'm reaching out to gallery representations. Yeah, step by step.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year journey. So, and as you know, the art community, it's a community where you have to go like step by step to like till when they feel like, okay, now this one can be put in a museum or where. But so far, I'm so glad because as a pen artist, I've never seen a solo exhibition of a pen artist. To me, I think I'll be the first to have my my solo exhibition where we just enter a gallery and all you will see are pen drawings. So as a pen artist and every pen artist out there, we can do it. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. Are there any artists that you were looking at the time that inspired the pen journey? Because you mentioned that you were seeing other pen artists. Are there any specific artists that you looked at whose work you saw, doesn't have to be in Africa or in Uganda, that whose work you most resonated with and said, wow, I want to do something similar to what they are doing?
Yeah, but as I told you at the beginning of our conversation, that all the artists I was looking towards, to the artists that actually do work till now that I admire, are not pen artists. Actually, the artist I admire a lot is in South Africa. though I was unlucky that I was in Johannesburg, and for him he's in Cape Town, so I couldn't get to meet him. And he by the time he scheduled the meeting, I had already left the country. But he's called Jono Dry. He's a Cape Town artist. He's a pencil artist, but I just want to. I like the way he puts out his work, and I just feel like I want to be the pen version of him.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Where can people see your artwork, Eric? Website and also social media.
Yeah, I have a website on my Instagram at Erimaz Art. Even if you fail to type Erimaz Art and you put in my name, Guy Eric Joe, my handle will come. So you can check out my website. I haven't put up most of the works, but yeah, I have my works, and also on my social media handles on Facebook, on X. So yeah, that's where I have my works.
Well, we certainly hope that your star continues to shine, and not just that, we can't wait to see a solo exhibition from you where it's just all pen fine art. I think that will be quite an extraordinary event, a historic one. Eric, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, and all the best for your career, and we certainly hope that we start seeing more of your art pieces all around the world, not just in Uganda.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad.
The voice there of pen fine artist Eric Joe, known as Erimaz Art. Check him out on social media and go to his website. Support him. Incredible work that he is doing, and the work that he puts out. Just that painting, that drawing behind him. It looks so detailed. He says that it's not his best work. It's not as detailed as he would like it to be. Such a perfectionist. I like it for him. It's 2:30 Central African Time. Sports now with Fikile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And we start off with elections in Kenya. Athletics. Kenya Table Tennis Association boss Andrew Modibo has suffered a major blow after the Sports Dispute Tribunal ruled that he is barred from contesting in the scheduled National Olympic Committee of Kenya elections for being nominated by an illegal entity. The STD, in its ruling on the eve of the elections, ordered that the Kenya Table Tennis Association, KTTA, was not the duly registered sports organization under the Sports Act 2013 at the time of its participation in the NOC electoral process. Following that, the SDT declared that KTTA was not eligible to nominate its candidate, Modibo, for any elective office within NOC, further nullifying KTTA's participation in the 2025 NOC election. KTTA must submit verified compliance documentation for all its interim and eventual office bearers to the sports registrar before the elections. Now, cricket news. Proteas betting consultant Ashwell Prince has issued a timely reminder to South African cricketers looking to push the national team aside for the low-hanging fruits of T20 league across the world. Celebrations continues for the newly crowned ICC World Test champions South Africa. The Proteas won their first final of the ICC tournament in 27 years when they beat Australia in the Test Championship at Lord's in London last Saturday. Prince, who formed a crucial part of the head coach Shukri Conrad's technical staff, says the joys of winning a major trophy with the Proteas badge on your chest trumps any lucrative reward of playing in the T20 global leagues.
Well, you're hoping that, the young kids will aspire to play Test cricket as much as they aspire to play the short format, the T20s and all that. Something I said in the dressing room to the players before the match, that there are lots of badges in the world, like T20 badges for lots of teams around the world, and you can earn a lot of money. But only this badge can give you the opportunity to walk out into the middle of Lords and represent your country and do what they have done. Only this badge can give you that opportunity. So, for every young player, don't ever forget that.
With the monkey finally off the Proteas men's backs following their shortcomings at critical moments over the last 2.5 decades, Prince also paid homage to previous generations for the foundations laid for the current crop success.
Listen, absolutely. I mean, Aiden Markram, I would say, played a Graham Smith type of innings in the fourth innings. Graham Smith probably have the best record in the world in terms of chasing scores down in the fourth innings, and KJ Rabada following in the footsteps of Makaya and those guys. He just fell 1 wicket short, nearly got 10 wickets at Lords like Makaya did. So absolutely, you know, the boys from previous generations definitely laid the foundations.
And now the national women's football team of Kenya, Harambee Starlets, will be aiming for a top spot at the ongoing Sikafa Sina Challenge in Dar es Salaam when they take on winless South Sudan at the Azam Complex today. The Bildin or Demba Chargers are eyeing their third successive win in the regional tourney that is being played in a round-robin format. A win for Kenya and hope Tanzania are at least held by champions Uganda will see them climb to the summit of the log and stay on course to reclaiming the title they last won in 2019. Starlets will enter the match boosted by 2 back-to-back huge wins against Burundi, whom they thrashed 3-0 and demolished in Uganda 4-0. Let's end with the boxing news. It's South African leading boxing trainer and manager Colin Nomaganjani Nathan saying WBO junior bantamweight world champion Phumelela the Truth Khafu's next fight is arguably one of the biggest ever to involve a South African.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. Also one of the biggest fights involving a South African for international boxing. So it's just great to be part of, you know, what's going to happen on the 19th of July, especially when we produce an upset. So looking forward to that. It's a massive, massive opportunity. Behind the scenes is often like a game of chess. You know, you got to have the right chess piece, which we had with Phumelela, with the WBO title. And we also knew that, you know, Bam with his agreement with Matchroom, and they were putting pressure on Matchroom to get a unification going. So we knew the IBF was out.
For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside.
With me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and arts and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted. If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now,
what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon.
Well, let's hand over the mic now to Nosipo Zuma for business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, South Africa's Minister of Electricity and Energy, Dr. Hosienze Ramokgopa, says government is ready to implement the South African Renewable Energy Master Plan as part of its energy policy on electricity development. Now, the aim of the plan is to fast-track the procurement of renewable energy, ensure reliable energy planning, and expand the electricity grid to accommodate new projects, among other issues. Ramokgopa was speaking on the third day of the Africa Energy Forum in Cape Town.
Through SAREM, we are embedding industrialization into our energy transition, not as an afterthought, but as a central strategy to secure sovereignty, create jobs, and build long-term competitiveness. A core pillar of energy security is the ability to build, operate, and maintain critical energy infrastructure with domestic capacity. No nation can claim sovereignty whilst outsourcing the very foundations of its development. South Africa has demonstrated time and again that it possesses the industrial mettle to rise to complex challenges.
South African Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana has emphasized the need to prioritize the public funding of political parties. Godongwana was speaking at the Independent Electoral Commission Political Funding Symposium in Durban today. The symposium is aimed at reflecting on the success and challenges seen over the last 4 years since the implementation of the Political Party Funding Act and a way forward. Godongwana, who addressed the media after his address, explained his call for political parties to be fully funded by the public.
Political parties, by their very nature, are public institutions. And if you don't use taxpayers' money to fund them, then you are making them vulnerable to be hijacked by individuals or corporates.
Empowering female trade has been one of the topics of discussions on the sidelines of the Commonwealth Business Summit currently underway in Windhoek, Namibia. At a plenary session focusing on female innovators, change makers and leaders from across the Commonwealth, Dr. Emma Makaugoma, Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare in Windhoek, Namibia, delivered an address under the theme Gender and Trade, Empowering Female Entrepreneurs in the Commonwealth. She spoke about the Namibian gender equality policy.
The policy ensures that women, men, youth, persons living with disabilities, those communities from the marginalized society gain equal and equitable access to training, markets, productive resources, and technology foundations essential for women entrepreneurship and to advance trade.
Oil prices have risen after Israel and Iran continued to exchange missile attacks overnight, and U.S. President Donald Trump's stance on the conflict kept investors on edge. Brent crude futures rose at 36 cents to $77.06 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude for July was up 54 cents at $75.68. Brent crude had surged to its highest in nearly 5 months at 78.50% and on the 13th of June when Israel began its attacks. Finally, the dollar has held mostly steady as the threat of a broader Middle East conflict loomed over markets, while a flurry of central banks' decisions, including a surprise cut from Norway, kept traders busy. Rapidly rising geopolitical tensions have boosted the dollar, which has claimed its safe haven status in recent days. Iran and Israel carried out further air attacks on Thursday, with the conflict entering its 7th day. The Federal Reserve left rates steady, and now traders are counting down to a Bank of England meeting due later in the day, with bets on no change to the base rate. Your financial indicators: one US dollar in Nigeria is trading at 1,543 naira 57, in Botswana at 13 pula 28. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shillings 60, and in Zambia it's 24 kwacha 11. In BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 ril 49, Russia is 78 rubles 47, India is 86 rupees 43, China is 7 yuan 18, and in South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand 99. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,369 and platinum at $1,286 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $76.97 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Nosi Pozuma.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa. Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mokoenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa.
If I tell you, say I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, oh. Yeah, Versace and Gucci for your body, oh baby. No do, gotta for me. No do, say that, oh. No do, shakara, oh. No do, gotta for you. Girl, you're beautiful too. My number one in tutu. Sipping bruku tutu. For your love it tutu. I go chuku. Biko obianuju. Say you do me juju. Cause I'm feeling the juju. Shake it to you. Take it. I wanna dash it to you. Take it. You can have it to you. Take it. You know I got this in you. Take it. I love you. There's nothing above you. Bridget, you. I like your mini skirt, you. Okay, you carry fancy, you. If I tell you, hey, I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, yo. Yeah, Versace and Gucci for your body.
Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside.
With me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted. If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now,
What's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon.
Say nobody holy, but I don't go tell you story. I gotta be your man. Let me talk to you. Say a few things. Girl, I'm feeling you. But it's up to you. Say you know I got this. I love you. There's nothing above you. Bridget, you. I like your mini skirt, you. Okay, you carry fancy, you. If I tell you, say I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, yo. Yeah, Versace and Gucci for your body, oh baby. No do, gotta for me. No do, say that, oh. No do, shakara, oh, eh. No do, gotta for you.
Your favorite boy, Techno, on the beat.
Mix monster.
Davido with If. It's now 13 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to The Upside. If you've just joined us, with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, alongside our producer, phenomenal Nombuyiselo Tango.
Yeah, bro.
They've named the car after you.
I hate it so much.
Did you see it?
Everybody keeps saying
the
that to me.
VW.
everybody, before they even select, because there were 3 names. And from those 3 names, obviously, one had to sound like my surname. And
you should be honored. It actually doesn't look that bad. It's
no.
It's an SUV. It's a VW SUV. If you haven't seen it, it's a new
I don't
VW
mind
SUV.
the car.
You don't mind the car?
No. I don't mind the car. I know everybody is going to say, hey, Tango. And then...
Of course.
No.
Immediately when I saw it, I was like, oh, they named the car for
exactly.
you.
No.
That's how it's supposed to be.
No.
You're going to be the most popular human being in South Africa.
A lot of things.
When they get that car out.
A lot of things are named Tango. Even a fruit.
Yeah, but a car not. When last have you seen a Tango car? Ever?
I've never. Not even when last. Never.
This is the first.
When it passes by, I know someone is going to make a mockery of
Tango.
Exactly. That's what I don't like. Not necessarily the car.
Anyway, it's time for What Caught Your Eye. Interact with us on our social media platform, TikTok at Channel Africa 1, and let us know what caught your eye. What caught your eye this afternoon?
The same thing that most probably caught your eye and caught everybody's eye. Floyd Shivambu back on our screens. On our papers, on social media.
Yep.
He had a press briefing and he was obviously unpacking all the questions that we had regarding the demotion, regarding him not being on the list of the members of parliament.
Yep.
And certain things stuck out for me.
Okay.
One of the journalists asked him that, listen, you said you'll never leave. And this was an interview that they had a few weeks ago. You said that maybe 2 weeks ago. You said that you'll never leave the MK party.
Yep.
However, you're saying that you are considering looking at other options. And one of these other options is that you might start your own party. Considering that.
So how do you go about doing that then?
It's not even about how do you go about doing that. It's more so of, will anybody join? That's the question that will anybody vote for a party that was started by Floyd after his relationship with the EFF coming to an end, with his relationship seemingly very bitter within the MK party right now?
Short answer, I don't know. Because if I say no, people are not going to sign up and join the party. And then we are shocked tomorrow. We see so many people signing up. Let's continue this conversation right after this. It's 10 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. We've got a bill to pay.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Hawa wa Afrika Kusini wenye asili ya kizungu ambao wamepewa ukimbizi huko nchini Marekani. Je, nini chanzo cha wao kuomba ukimbizi nchini Marekani?
Wenyewe hawajaomba ukimbizi. Kuna shirika fulani inaitwa AfriForum, shirika mbili za wazungu ambao wanatetea haki ya wazungu hapa, AfriForum na Solidarity. Hao walienda Marekani kufanya kampeni kusema kwamba wazungu wananyanyaswa hapa Afrika Kusini, na walivyofanya hiyo kampeni serikali iweze kuwafuatilia kujua nini ambacho mnasema kwamba mnanyanyaswa.
Kuna namna ya wao kwamba wamepoteza uraia wa Afrika Kusini, na je, endapo Trump akamaliza muda wake madarakani, uhalali wao wa kuishi nchini Marekani ukoje?
Itakuwa vigumu, kifupi itakuwa vigumu wenyewe kupoteza uraia wao.
Darubini ya Afrika 11 kamili hadi 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa.
Bado hatujafika huko, njiani kuna vita, subira itahitajika, shida mitiani, binadamu tumeumbiwa, na mapenzi ni burudani, toka enzi tuliambiwa, umeleta furaha kipindi cha mashaka, moyo ulipakwamika,
Upside transports you from Cape to Cairo every weekday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
8 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African Time. Our technical director, they're getting very excited. It's like, we're listening to music today. We want to continue our conversation. What caught your eye? And we are talking about the press conference that Floyd Shivambu held this afternoon in Midrand. He is now the former Deputy Secretary General for the MK Mkhonto Wesizwe Party, and we're just trying to figure out what that conference was actually all about. Let's be honest. What was it about?
Him talking about him stepping down or him
But he
being
didn't
demoted,
step down.
everything.
Okay, well, yeah, fair enough. Him being demoted.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's
Yeah.
not leaving the party officially. He said he's not leaving the party.
But he's considering starting a new party.
And he said he will consult the elders, the church, people, whoever he's going to consult to figure out if this is the right step for him.
And let's not forget the tweet that got everybody up in arms. Boma Figizolo. That's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave it there, right? We know by who, right? Do you think that family ties were also part of the decision behind all of this?
Whose decision? The MK party's decision?
Yes.
To remove
Yes.
Floyd.
Yes.
I would like to listen. We are not in the MK party ourselves. We don't know the inner workings, the conversations. But as an observer, you can say it's possible because of the close ties that the leader, Jacob Zuma, has with his daughter, who also has quite the voice in the MK party. So when they were at loggerheads now, Duduzile, the daughter, and Floyd, I don't think that's set well within the context of family in the MK in the MK party. And now, if you have to choose, do you strengthen the family? Do you stand together as a family, or do you allow other forces to divide? You are obviously going to lean more towards the family, and it's possible that that decision came from that point of view, that it's family.
So from the stance of MK, do you think this was a good political decision? Let's just pause with Floyd for now.
Okay.
Do you think as a political party this was a good decision to make such, I don't want to say hasty, but such decisions at this time?
It's only been there for how long? Less than 10 months, about 10 months.
It's very short.
And I think already before even Floyd got involved, there were already factions within the MK. It already speaks of division, how it's sort of run as a family and not too many people are happy about it. There are some people who are unhappy about the way things are being done. And so when you then bring in that extra layer of uncertainty and discourse and instability, I don't think it's ideal for the MKA party to be bringing such... it's not even hasty, because we are saying it's a hasty decision. For them, maybe it was not the case.
Hence, I'm saying I don't want to say it's
Yeah.
hasty.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was an ideal for the party itself.
Yes.
I don't know if it was an ideal decision to be making from a political party point of view
Yeah.
to ensure confidence from the people who are members of the MK party.
And then going back to Floyd, what do you think would be the best solution to remedy all of this? That has always been my question, actually.
I don't know if you can remedy this one. For Floyd right now,
Because we don't want another Bossa situation, right?
and I think that's exactly where we're going. That's
So
what we're going to
you're
get.
saying
Another party.
the best thing is for him to be like Dr. Ndlozi, not like literally step by step, guys. Don't kill me in the comments. But
Hey, those comments, eh?
but do you think that him taking a step, not back, but to the side, whether it's been behind the scenes, whether him being a strategist of certain or consulting, people going to him to consult, would that be then the best choice that he can make?
Yeah. I think we need to get proper political analysts to weigh in on this, because we are just observers.
This is what caught our eye, guys.
It's what caught our eyes, and we just have our own opinion on it. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. It's simply just an opinion. For me right now, where I'm, and I said it earlier, quite a few weeks ago, I had said that it doesn't look promising for Floyd. The being fired from that position, then being promised the parliamentary position, minister position there, and then not being given that, not being part of the list. The signs were there that he's sort of on his way out. This press conference did not paint a good picture for me, for him in the MK party. I think in no time at all he will be released, or he will either removed, or he will remove himself, and he might just start his own party, and we then find ourselves with another Bossa situation where there's another party being formed, but then again raises that question that you asked earlier: who will then support this party that Floyd starts? Left the ANC, left the EFF, now potentially, and I'm not saying that it's happening, but it might happen, we don't know. And if he does leave the MK party, who will then follow him into the next revolution? I don't know if those numbers will be sufficient for him to have that party.
We'll see.
You actually think otherwise?
I just like seeing it unfold. I like seeing it unfold. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something to say about it, whether good or bad. And it's a perfect time to look into politics. Whether you're young, you're old, this is a learning curve for everybody.
And it's also entertaining, isn't it?
I mean,
I'm entertained. I don't know about you. Let us know in the comments section. What do you think? What's next for Floyd? Do you think he will continue staying on the MK party? Will he start his own party? If he does start his own party, do you think he will garner enough support for that party to be a proper juggernaut to fight against, or to compete against the ANC, the EFF, and MK party? What do you think? We'd love to hear from you. 3 p.m. Central African Time. Joalani Tulo Ngwepe has your news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Top stories. Zambia's government and former President Edgar Lungu's family still at loggerheads, and Israeli president visits one of the locations attacked by Iranian missiles. Good afternoon. Zambia's Minister of Information, Cornelius Mwetwa, says the government will continue to engage the late former President Edgar Lungu's family in a bid to resolve the impasse between them. The late leader's family stopped the repatriation from going ahead shortly before he was destined to fly back to Zambia yesterday over a feud with the Zambian government. Lungu died in South Africa earlier this month. Mwetwa says they want the former president to have a dignified burial.
The government of the Republic of Zambia is, under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, is not tiring up in engaging the family to ensure that former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is repatriated back to his homeland, Zambia, and be given a befitting, dignified, farewell. That is what we are working at. That is what President Hakainde Hichilema is working at, to ensure that this impasse is resolved.
Former Umkhonto weSizwe Party Secretary General Floyd Shibambu has clarified reasons for his removal from the position. The South African politician says he was informed by a fake intelligence report which said he was intending to overthrow former President Jacob Zuma as party leader. Shibambu addressed the media in Midrand in the north of Johannesburg.
The reason given in the national officials for my deployment or removal as Secretary General was that I want to overthrow President Zuma as the president of Umkhonto weSizwe. Extremely bizarre and fake intelligence report was produced, which was claimed to be a conversation between me and some people in the African continent, where it is alleged that despite raising money to remove President Zuma, I'm also accumulating supernatural powers to make people disappear.
South Africa's Human Settlements Minister Thembi Simelane says government is continuing to provide humanitarian assistance to Eastern Cape flood victims. Simelane says there's an ongoing process of allocating land where affected residents will rebuild their homes. The death toll now stands at 92. She was speaking on the sidelines of the memorial service for the flood victims in Mthatha.
We have received a positive response from the Department of Public Works here at KSD. I was in Butterworth yesterday. The municipality is also having municipal land ready to move those who were in the river bend into an area. We are forcing with all we can to jump the step of TRUs, which are temporary residential units, that let's rather allocate land where our people will be given title deed with the assistance of Minister Nyocho, so that where we place them, it's in permanent land. We believe that government will save and people can then be able to rebuild for themselves. But the damage is too much.
The Ivory Coast says it's working with the U.S. Embassy to meet conditions that could prevent it from being included in a potential expansion of U.S. travel restrictions. Government spokesperson Amadou Coulibaly told reporters after a cabinet meeting that Ivory Coast has 2 months to provide requested documentation to U.S. authorities. A leaked U.S. State Department cable last week revealed plans to potentially add 36 countries, including the Ivory Coast, to an existing travel ban list. And finally, Israeli President Isaac Herzog has visited one of the locations attacked by Iranian missiles. Dozens of people were injured as Iran struck several locations, including in Tel Aviv and a hospital in the city of Beersheba. The hospital chief said many patients had been moved to safer areas just a day earlier. Herzog had this to say.
The team here is amazing. It's combined of Jews and Muslims. We in the Negev live together. And of course, we have a lot of Palestinians who come from Gaza and come from the West Bank. They're all treated here and treated beautifully. But this missile or those who launched it, they don't care. They would kill anybody so long as it's in Israel.
Recapping the top story this hour, Zambia's Minister of Information, Cornelius Mweta, says the government will continue to engage the late former President Edgar Lungu's family in a bid to resolve the impasse between them. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo-Webe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside. How time flies when you are having fun with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Stream us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube. If you have DSTV, it's channel 802, OpenView channel 628. Well, in this hour, we get into conversation. We continue our conversation about fashion, art. This time around, we want to focus on the business of fashion. The business of fashion. The Vilioti Fashion Institute is hosting a free seminar, winter workshop, if you will, in Johannesburg. And they're inviting all aspiring fashion designers, those who want to get into fashion as designers, who want to understand the business of it. They're inviting you for a free workshop so you can understand the ins and outs of the fashion industry. And if this sounds like your kind of vibe, stay tuned for that conversation. And in fact, if you are a designer, fashion designer, and because every Thursday we highlight and we spotlight the designers on the African continent doing the most, share some of your work with us. +27 63 406 9126 as we continue to honor and celebrate the youth in South Africa. I'm extending this to not just South Africa, to the entire continent, even in the diaspora. If you are a fashion designer and would like to share your work with us, with the entire Channel Africa audience, send us a WhatsApp, +27 63 406 9126. A quick check on what you are having for lunch, or what you had for lunch this afternoon. I know personally, I'm doing a bit of an overshare. I had wings. I don't think wings are supposed to be ideal for lunch. Wings are sort of like a snack. I had them for lunch. I had wings, I had chakalaka, and I had dombolo. That dombolo that I bought today is not the one. Personally, I'm oversharing. That dombolo was not the one. Perhaps you had a lunch that was slightly more tastier than mine. Let me know on the WhatsApp line, +27 63 406 9126. Don't go anywhere. We will talk about the free winter workshop that will be hosted by Vilioti Fashion Institute to teach you the ins and outs of the fashion industry. That conversation is coming up next. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside.
Africa at Play with NATO and ETO Chairman.
The Confederation of African Athletics, the CAA President, Mr. Hamad Kalkaba Malboum, talk to us about the state of athletics in Africa as it stands, and what picture are you looking at 5 years later?
Yeah, athletics in Africa is strong. We are able to organize our major events in time. Like this year, we will have the under-20 and under-18 African Championship in Nigeria. Next year, we will have the senior in Ghana. In 2027, we will go back to Algeria to organize the under-18 and under-20. And then 2028, we will have the senior championship in Gaborone in Botswana. Well, by this program, we can increase our performance. And at the same time, we are considering the fact that within the federation, they are identifying young talent within a national program, within the scholarship championship. And so the athletics in Africa is in good standard.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
Hey guys, question. Have you thought about what happens between 9 o'clock until midday, Saturday and Sunday? Well, it's me. Those that know me call me the fun police, and I'm that girl, that voice on your radio. My name is Pule Mulebati. I'm all about the finer things in life. Where to go, what to wear, who to see, and ultimately what to do. We aspire to bring you the best in travel, entertainment, with a dash or maybe a dose of laughter. And then of course we switch things up a bit when we look at technology. I love what's happening with AI because you blink, something new pops up. So the challenge is constantly there. I'm learning every single time on the show. So catch me every single Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. until 12 midday Central African Time, Baba.
Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Baba mawusisa mina namhlanje ngiyacela ngomusa nentobeko cela ungakhohlwa mngani wami cela ungalibali umakhelwane wami wakhona ukuvuka kwami namhlanje ayingoba ngingcono cela ukhumbule umndeni wami cela ukhumbula
afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside.
With me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted. If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now,
What's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside.
With me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted. If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now,
What's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is? Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside.
With me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out
Izibusiso, blessings, nomfundo more. It's 15 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. It is the final hour of The Upside. But before we leave you, we get into conversation about all things fashion. Are you a fashion designer, an aspiring fashion designer on the African continent? Then this conversation was made with you in mind. From runway dreams to business realities, fashion is more than just fabulous outfits. It's a multi-billion rand industry. And this winter, Vilioti Fashion Institute is inviting aspiring designers, stylists, and entrepreneurs to get an exclusive inside look into the real business of fashion. It's not just about looking good, it's about building a brand, breaking into the industry, and creating a career. Today, we stitch together the details with Spero Vilioti, a renowned South African fashion designer and educator, also the founder of Vilioti Fashion Institute. Spero, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Let's talk about the Vilioti Fashion Institute and the work that you do before we talk about the winter workshop that's upcoming.
Okay, so the Vilioti Fashion Institute has been going now for 23 years. We're based in Hyde Park, just on Jan Smuts Avenue, opposite the Hyde Park Shopping Centre, which is great for our students because the Gautrain bus stops right outside and it's easy with taxis and everything that the students would need. So it makes it it's in a very convenient position. Our premises are very high grade with all the modern equipment to prepare our students for the industry. We have an amazing team of lecturers, all highly qualified within the industry, and yeah, it's good here. We're the only school in Joburg at the moment, the fashion school, and we offer a higher certificate, which is a 1-year program. We offer a diploma, a 3-year diploma. We also offer a 3-year Bachelor of Fashion, and we also have an honors program, and all of them are accredited by the Department of Education, which is very important for a student to know that when they go to an institution that it is fully accredited.
Amazing. And Sparrow, let's talk about your personal journey into the fashion industry. I mentioned that you were a designer yourself. When did that journey begin for you?
Well, I started when I was 17. I started working. I went to Greece, where I trained for 3 years, and I worked for couture companies. And then I moved from Greece. I went to London, and I studied at the London College of Fashion. And then I also was employed by a British company called Frank Usher, who specialized in evening wear. And I worked for them for 5 years. And then I came to South Africa because, you know, once you're born in Africa, your blood is always African, and there's no more beautiful place to be than in Africa. I love this country.
No DNA, just RSA. We are currently in conversation with Sparrow Vilioti, a renowned South African fashion designer and educator, founder of the Vilioti Fashion Institute, who will be running a winter workshop, a free winter workshop, and we'll find out more about it in a second time. It's 20 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. If you have any questions for him about the upcoming workshop, send them through on our WhatsApp line, +27 63 406 9126.
Africa in Song with Tebogo Lekhuleni.
This song has a line that I love so much in the isiXhosa language. It says, Andinayo nesentem daga. So I went down to the Eastern Cape. So I went to Yanga and said, Yanga, tell me here, what does Andinayo nesentem daga mean?
If I say Andinayo nesentem daga, it means that I do not have any money on me. I do not have money to give to you.
Interesting, because in Chivenda, I would just say, Atinana peni, ndo charumwe. I wonder if you have that expression in your home language when you want to say you're broke, but in a very creative way. What do you say? I'd like to hear from you.
Africa in Song with Tebogo Lekhuleni. If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside.
21 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. This is The Upside with me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African time. Stream us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, so you can see this conversation and also hear it, of course. We are still in conversation with Sparrow Vilioti, a renowned South African fashion designer, educator, and founder of Vilioti Fashion Institute, about the upcoming winter workshop. Sparrow, let's talk about this workshop, because when we think about fashion, we talk about the glamorous side of fashion, and yet you're going to be running a workshop, a free workshop, that will be exploring the business side of the fashion industry. Why was this so important for you?
It's important because the youngsters need to know before they make a decision of what career they want to follow. That this is to learn more about it, to have a bit of an experience, to see what the campus is like, and to actually have a fun day. So for them, it's important to see what fashion is all about, because everybody thinks it's just about being a designer. But the fashion industry is one of the largest industries in the world. I mean, you can go to any shopping mall and everything you see and touch has been designed, manufactured, shipped, and is always in the store. And even I, who am in the fashion industry, I'm overwhelmed at times because you never go to a mall and it's empty. There's always clothes and accessories, and you always wonder who designs them, who manufactures them, where does it all come from? How does this all get coordinated and put together? And the stores are never empty. And you can go the following week and there's all new stuff in there. And you sit and wonder, who buys all this stuff? But it's an enormous industry. And there's many different career opportunities. So we like to educate our students that there are many different aspects to being in the fashion industry, from a merchandiser, production, pattern making, stylist, for magazines and TV, for movies, for everything. So it all, there's so many different career paths to follow. So we try and give them a broad spectrum and educate them in the best possible way we can to prepare them for the industry. It's very important that as South Africa, that our fashion students are up to an international standard, and that's what we strive for. So our students can work anywhere in the world, and that's what is good. And we have quite a lot of students who have done really well overseas, and it makes us proud that they are proudly South African, doing really well.
And can we...
So our winter works... sorry.
Sorry, yes, please carry on. Sorry.
So our winter workshop is from the Thursday, the 10th of July to the 11th. It's from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. And we have many fun activities and educational things that they will do during that time. So, and it's absolutely for free. It gives them a chance to experience a little bit about the fashion industry.
Will we expect to see any industry players at the moment, any people who are currently active in the fashion industry, be it designers, those who have already walked the path and who have explored the different aspects of the fashion industry? Will we have any experts be a part of this workshop?
Yeah, all our lecturers will be part of it, and they are all have worked in the industry, have great experience, highly educated, all of them with honors and masters and doctorates. So they are true professionals and they do know what they're talking about. So it's a good opportunity for them, and they can ask as many questions that they want to. So it really opens it up to them. We like them asking questions and us giving them feedback.
With it being a free event, Sparrow, will there be limitations in terms of seating, number of tickets, number of people who can attend?
No, not really. We can take up to 100 students. It's not a problem. Our facilities are very big and we have a great team, so it's not a problem.
I would like to know, and especially for the young people right now, it's Youth Month in South Africa, and there are so many kids who are aspiring to get into the fashion industry. What are the main misconceptions that they have and they still hold about the fashion industry? From what you have observed, from the students that you've interacted with, what are the main misconceptions that they have about the fashion industry?
The misconception is that they won't find jobs, but all our students find jobs. The industry, like I said earlier, is enormous. You don't have to be a designer. There are many, you can go into corporate companies like H&M, Zara, all those big brands are not just run by a designer. There are many different areas, positions. You can like production. I mean, it's just enormous. There's many different aspects that they can go into. So the education we give them gives them the opportunity to be working within the fashion industry, but in all different areas.
And such a rich fashion culture that we have in South Africa, how do we go about exporting that and sharing it to the rest of the world? I love the fact that you said that your students can pretty much work anywhere around the world. How do we then take the South African fashion culture to the world?
Well, we have, at the moment, we are doing a Love Holston competition, which is set up from New York. They have invited us to enter this competition. The first prize that they're giving is 110,000 Rand, which is amazing. And they're also looking to maybe find designers to go to New York and work for their company. And they have chosen South Africa. In South Africa, we have a rich, diverse culture.
Yeah.
And the young African students have a great sense of taste and are very creative. We have amazing artists in South Africa. And the rest of the world has realized that, and they want to tap.
Oh, Sparrow, we seem to have lost you there. Network issues, unfortunately, as he was giving us some more details of how we can share our fashion, South African fashion, to the rest of the world. But the winter workshop under the Vilioti Fashion Institute will be taking place in July. You can visit their website if you'd like to be a part of it. It's a free workshop and you'll be learning quite a bit in terms of the business side of the fashion industry. So if you're a stylist, an aspiring designer, or want to be a part of the fashion industry, check out the winter workshop under the Vilioti Fashion Institute. It's 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Sports news now with Figile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
In our sports update, we begin with football news. SABC Sports football commentator Michael Abrahamson is confident that the South African women's national football team, Banyana, have what it takes to defend their WAFCON title in Morocco next month. Abrahamson elaborates on Banyana's impressive journey.
I think it's been a very interesting journey for Banyana, and I think now the structures are definitely in place. Coach Des has done amazing things. I think the introduction of the Hollywood Bet Super League has helped a lot because it's provided a feeder for some of our local players to have competitive matches week in and week out. But now the structures are definitely in place. I think we did amazingly at the 2023 World Cup, qualifying, getting through to the round of 16. I remember I commentated on the opening game against Sweden, and we lost that 2-1, but we put up a fantastic show. We gained a lot of friends. We got through our group, beat Italy as well, and then got knocked out by the Netherlands in the round of 16. But we made friends from that, and we showed that we are competitive on the continent.
And the national women's football team of Kenya, Harambee Starlets, will be aiming for a top spot at the ongoing Sikafa Sina Challenge in Dar es Salaam when they take on winless South Sudan at the Azam Complex today. The Beldin or Demba Chargers are eyeing their third successive win in the regional tourney that is being played in a round-robin format. A win for Kenya and Hope Tanzania, at least held by champions Uganda, will see them climb to the summit of the log and stay on course to reclaiming the title they last won in 2019. Starlets will enter the match boosted by two back-to-back huge wins against Burundi, whom they thrashed 3-0 and demolished Uganda 4-0. These wins have placed the Starlets in second place in the standings on 6 points, same as leaders host Tanzania, who have a superior goal difference. Now, cricket news. Proteas betting consultant Ashwell Prince has issued a timely reminder to South African cricketers looking to push the national team aside for the low-hanging fruits of T20 League across the world. Celebrations continues today for the newly crowned ICC World Chess Champion South Africa. The Proteas won their first final of the ICC tournament in 27 years when they beat Australia in the Test Championship at Lord's in London last Saturday. Prims, who formed a crucial part of the head coach Shukri Conrad's technical staff, says the joys of winning a major trophy with the Proteas badge on your chest trumps any lucrative reward of playing in the T20 Global Leagues.
Well, you're hoping that, the young kids will aspire to play Test cricket as much as they aspire to play the short format, the T20s and all that. Something I said in the dressing room to the players before the match, that there are lots of badges in the world, like T20 badges for lots of teams around the world, and you can earn a lot of money. But only this badge can give you the opportunity to walk out into the middle of Lords and represent your country and do what they have done. Only this badge can give you that opportunity. So, for every young player, don't ever forget that.
Prince also paid homage to previous generations for their foundations laid for the current crop success.
Listen, absolutely. Aiden Markram, I would say, played a Graham Smith type of innings in the fourth innings. Graham Smith probably have the best record in the world in terms of chasing scores down in the fourth innings, and KJ Rabada following in the footsteps of Makaya and those guys. He just fell 1 wicket short, nearly got 10 wickets at Lords like Makaya did. So absolutely, the boys from previous generations definitely laid the foundations.
And finally, athletics. Sydney 2000 Olympic gold medalist and chairperson of the technical committee for the CAA Under-18 Under-20 African Athletics Championships, NFIOC, Udo Obong, has expressed confidence that the upcoming competition will play a crucial role in discovering Nigeria's future Olympic stars. Speaking ahead of the championship scheduled to hold from the 16th to the 20th of July at the MKO Abiola International Stadium, Abu Kuta, Udo Obong urged participating countries and athletes not to see the event as a do-or-die affair focused only on results, but rather as a platform for long-term athletes' development. For any sports stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fidel Nwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
35 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. For the very last time on The Upside, let's get your business news with Nosipho Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, Eswatini's Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Prince Lonkonkela Dlamini, says a skewed risk perception for development financing for African countries is hindering the development of energy construction projects. Dlamini was speaking during the Africa Energy Forum in Cape Town. He says more land should also be made available.
One important thing is finance. Availability of finance is important. We are seen as risky, especially as the African countries, developing countries. Yet when you go to the ground, you do see that it is not as perceived by those who say Africa is risky.
South Africa's Minister of Electricity and Energy, Dr. Hosienzo Ramokgopa, says government is ready to implement the South African Renewable Energy Master Plan as part of its energy policy on electricity development. The aim of the plan is to fast-track the procurement of renewable energy, ensure reliable energy planning, and expand the electricity grid to accommodate new projects, among other issues. Ramokgopa was speaking on the third day of the Africa Energy Forum in Cape Town.
Through SAREM, we are embedding industrialization into our energy transition, not as an afterthought, but as a central strategy to secure sovereignty, create jobs, and build long-term competitiveness. A core pillar of energy security is the ability to build, operate, and maintain critical energy infrastructure with domestic capacity. No nation can claim sovereignty whilst outsourcing the very foundations of its development. South Africa has demonstrated time and again that it possesses the industrial mettle to rise to complex challenges.
Ramokgopa says the South African Renewable Energy Master Plan brings a holistic approach to energy development in the country. The minister was speaking during a roundtable discussion on energy transition in South Africa and Africa at the Africa Energy Forum in Cape Town.
At the same time, we approach this transition with a pragmatic clarity. A reliable and secure energy future will rest on a balanced mix that includes clean coal technologies, flexible gas generation, and nuclear power, all integrated into a decarbonization pathway that is responsible, feasible, and nationally determined. So I always make the point that, when you attend some of these forums, you find that it's advocating for a particular energy source. I always make the point that don't take time to discredit other energy sources.
The Swiss and Norwegian central banks have become the latest European rate setters to ease monetary policy. The two banks are citing a weaker inflation outlook that contrasted sharply with the Federal Reserve's warnings about higher U.S. prices. The Bank of England has kept rates on hold as expected, while flagging that they would remain on a gradual downward path, but also acknowledged heightened unpredictability in the global environment. And finally, oil prices have risen after Israel and Iran continued to exchange missile attacks overnight, and U.S. President Donald Trump's stance on the conflict kept investors on edge. Brent crude futures rose 36 cents to $77.06 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude for July was up 54 cents at $75.68. Brent had surged to its highest in nearly 5 months at 78.50% on the 13th of June when Israel began its attacks. Your financial indicators: $1 US in Nigeria is trading at 1,543 naira 57. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 28. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shillings 60, and in Zambia, it's 24 kwacha 11. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rupee 49. Russia is 78 rubles 47. India is 86 rupees 43. China at 7 yuan 18, and in South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand 99. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 86 to the euro. Looking at commodities, the gold is trading at $3,369 and platinum at $1,286 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $76.97 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Nusi Pozoma.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Join Tebogo and Nompumelelo on the upside, where optimism meets opportunity.
41 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. This is indeed the Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective. Stream us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube. Earlier, we were having a conversation with the founder of Vilioti Fashion Institute. We lost him there for a few seconds, but let's wrap up the conversation properly as they will be running a winter workshop in Johannesburg. The event offers or rather not even experts, will be offering aspiring designers, stylists, and those who want to be a part of the fashion industry in not just South Africa, but anywhere around the world. It will be introducing them to the business side of the industry and a chance to connect with industry experts and fellow creatives. To further unpack it for us, we are joined back on the line by Spero Vilioti. Spero, thank you so much for joining us back. Lost you there for a few seconds. Just a quick reminder of what the free winter workshop will entail and the dates as well, please.
Okay. So the free winter workshop will be an overview of the fashion industry and all the different career opportunities and a small insight into all of that sort of field and what career paths they could still take within the fashion industry. It also gives them a chance to see what the campus looks like and to enjoy the facilities here, and give them a taste about fashion, and understand everything they would need to know about fashion, to ask us about what it is to study fashion, what do they study, to guide them if they're in school still and they need to select subjects that they would need to study to help them get into this university. So it's a good opportunity for them, and also to just have fun and enjoy it, and just to see and learn about a great career path that they could one day take.
I love that.
But not only that, we don't only have the exhibition day happening.
Yeah.
On Saturday, this Saturday, we have information day where they can come in as well. And that is from, let me just check, that is, info day is from 9:30 to 12:30. That is Saturday the 21st, where they can come in with their parents. Their parents can ask questions, see how much it is to study here, and have a look around the campus. So if you can't make it to the free workshop, you can still come and visit us at the campus this Saturday, which is also for free, and we take you around and answer any questions. But one very special event that we're also having on the 3rd of July from 5 to 7 in the evening is the exhibition day, where all our third-year students will have all their creations and designs and everything on display.
Oh, wow.
And it's open again to the public to come and see what our students do. We also open it out to industry people, to magazines, and all sorts of media to give our students maximum exposure. So that is a great evening. We usually have a great turnout. We get about 700-800 people coming through.
Oh, wow.
And it's great to see up close what the students are. They all man their stands, so you can chat to the students. All our lecturers are also here on that evening. So if parents want to ask the lecturers or speak to the students about their experience here, speak to the students of what career path they have chosen to follow. So it's a great evening and a great eye-opener as well, because you can see what these amazing South African students can do. So that's also another opportunity
and Spero,
for them to have a look.
Do we need to buy tickets for these, or can we rock up on the day?
You can rock up on the day. There's no charge, no tickets. You can bring the whole family. You can come on your own. You can walk around, look at all the exhibits, experience the campus. It's a great evening. So, and there's free drinks. So, and there's free food. So all of that is there available. I mean, and the stands that the students set up are just beautiful. Each one, because it's like a marketing day for them
Yeah.
to market themselves and their product, so they take great pride in it. And because we have industry people coming in, I mean, there's lots of companies that approach us looking for designers like Mr. Price. A lot of our students end up working there. We have Nikki Boutique that has shown a lot of interest in our students. We also have Africa Fashion Week showing interest in our students and want to help to launch their careers. So all of these people are invited. So, and it kickstarts many young South African designers' careers. Because all of them want to have one day their own brand. And my story to them is they've heard of Zara.
Yep.
And the owner of Zara started his brand in his garage. And it's now one of the biggest brands in the world. So the great thing about this education is that you can set up your own little business in your garage, in your bedroom, and it can grow. I mean, when we started the school, we only had 3 students. We're now sitting on almost 400.
Oh, wow.
So it's small beginnings, but if you work hard and strive to be the best, the results always pay off. That's my belief.
Great advice there for the young people, especially for the youth, since we are still celebrating Youth Month in South Africa. Sparrow, let's talk about the role of social media. What impact has this had on young fashion designers in getting their work out there, noticed?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, when I was young, you would have to pay for magazines to put your adverts in. You can start your business from home. And if you do great social media, you can put your products and you can set up a website so that you can show them. And it becomes international immediately. So social media is an amazing asset to these young designers to launch their brand, to show their products, to get themselves known and kickstart their career. So it's brilliant. Social media is amazing today. I mean, we use it a lot to promote our events, our students, everything.
And while you are at that, please share your social media handles as well as the website where people can find more information.
Okay. At Vilioti Fashion. And our website is viliottifashioninstitute.co.za. And they can go onto our website and have a look. They can see all the information. They can see what we teach, all the different programs. There's videos of the campus. There's the fees so that they know what they're in for if they decide here. And all the information is there. But we also open, they can call us at any time. Email us and we're happy to answer any of their questions. They don't have to wait for an open day or an information day. They can come into the campus anytime or WhatsApp us. And we do quite a lot of interviews over WhatsApp from all over Africa, not just South Africa, but it also helps students that are not in Johannesburg but still want to come and study here. I mean, I interviewed a young lady today from Durban on WhatsApp, so you don't have to come in. We also take them on a tour using WhatsApp so they can see what the campuses look like. So, they can either come in, they're always welcome, our doors are always open. They can, like I said, phone us, WhatsApp us, do a WhatsApp interview if you can't come in, or you don't have money for transport, that's fine, or your parents are busy and they can't come in. And we send them all the information as well. So we try to make ourselves as accessible to the youth so that they can select the correct career path that they feel passionate about.
Amazing.
Because if you choose something that you enjoy and you love, chances of success in your future are much higher. So it's very important to choose something that you love to do and enjoy.
Absolutely. Sparrow, thank you so much for your time this afternoon and the incredible work that you're doing at the Vilioti Fashion Institute. We can't wait to join you at the winter workshop and the free winter workshop, that is. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure.
The voice there of Sparrow Vilioti, founder of Vilioti Fashion Institute. There will be a Vilioti free workshop in Johannesburg. Check out their social media platforms if you're an aspiring designer, a stylist, or just want to be a part of the fashion industry in South Africa. Check out their website and be a part of that workshop so you can get to know the ins and outs of the fashion industry, the business side of the fashion industry, and also the various career paths that you can find yourself in. It's now 7 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. Some music coming your way.
In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Tulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Tulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. This is The Upside for the best African vibes, groundbreaking content.
I wish ningemona Magufuli, nipige magoti, nimpongeze.
Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside.
With me, Tebogo Lekhuleni, and my partner in crime, Nompumelelo Ngubeni.
And if you want to find out all things luxury, fashion, travel, and art and culture, this is exactly the place to be.
Prepare to be delighted.
If it's hip, if it's happening, we are talking about it. We talk about what's now,
what's next, and most importantly, what matters most on the African continent and the diaspora.
Do you know what time it is?
Catch us every weekday on Channel Africa from 1 to 4 p.m. Central African time.
Yeah, that's us every weekday afternoon. Your weekday afternoons have been upgraded by The Upside.
Asacheza nipone jembe toka Chato, Magufuli ndo rais wa wanyonge, aga mpole mtu wa dini hajachoka, tunashukuru amesame mara 70, papikocha sayupo huru, wa Tanzania tupewe nini, vilokufa yeka vifufua, karudisha nidhamu serikalini, ukileta janja na tumbua. Sekta madini, umeme, maji, kero zimepungua. Elimu bure vijijini, watoto shule wanabukua. Ifikapo 2020 kura yangu wechukua. Asa tufiche ya nini, Magu uongozi anaujua. Dar es Salaam mwendo kasi, vituo vya afya kila kata. Machinga tunachapa kazi, tena huru bila shaka. Buriki utari ameongeza, uchumi uweze panda. Serikali Dodoma inapendeza, Tanzania ya viwanda. Odadi Magufuli cheza nipone, sopenda wabanecho, magumu acheni. Odadi asa cheza nipone, jembe toka Chato, Magufuli ndo rais wa wanyonge. asa wote wa Tanzania tusimame imara, yani wote Tanzania, Tanzania tusonge mbele. John Pombe Magufuli, simama imara, yani sote tusonge mbele, Tanzania tusonge mbele. Oh Mama Samia Suluhu, basi simama imara, pamoja tusonge mbele, Tanzania tusonge mbele. Baba Kasimu Majaliwa, simama imara,
2 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African Time, Magufuli by Harmonize. What an exciting show we had today. We were talking all things fashion and art. In the first hour, we were talking about the rise in intergenerational relationships. Blesser-blessee relationships on the rise in South Africa. Then we moved on to talk to a Ugandan pen fine artist, and then we wrapped it up by talking to the founder of Vilioti Fashion Institute, Spero Vilioti, about their upcoming winter workshop, which will be free to teach you and show you the ins and outs of the fashion industry, particularly the business side of the fashion industry. It's not just for the designers, as I stumble on my own tongue, but for those who want to be a part of the whole value chain. That workshop was designed for you. We are joined now by Tami Ngubeni, African Business, coming up next. How are you doing?
I am awesome, thank you. And how are you doing today?
Fantastic.
Oopsie.
I missed you yesterday since I wasn't here. But what's coming up on the show?
Well, what's coming up on the show? Today's Thursday, and a couple of weeks ago we introduced a new collaboration with SAFM, where every single Thursday Ashraf Garda, who hosts the show on SAFM, and I come together to look at the latest as far as the G20 is concerned. And today we're looking at energy pools, and we will be joined by the director of the African Energy Leadership Center at the University of the Witwatersrand. So how can G20 countries collaborate and form partnerships in order to sustain and reinvigorate energy pools in the region? We'll also be looking at the Land Bank. They have formed a partnership with the European Union as well as the Department of Agriculture to breathe new life and to take to the next level the wine and spirits industry in South Africa.
What does that even look like?
Well, look, as far as export is concerned, South African wines rank among the best in the world. The best, yeah. So how do they, introduce innovation, financing, access to opportunity, opening up the market? So all of that is coming up. And then also the Commonwealth Women's Entrepreneurs, also under the spotlight today, with the Commonwealth Business Women's Network currently meeting in the Maldives.
Oh, wholesome conversations, important conversations coming up in Africa and Business with Tami Ngubeni. From me, Tebogo Lekhuleni from The Upside. I'll join you again tomorrow, same time, same place.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Top stories. A Sawa political analyst weighs in on South African politicians' announcement, and the Thai government is on the verge of collapse. Good afternoon. I'm Cholani Tulongwebe. Political analyst Levin Doe says Floyd Shivambu still has the potential to make a huge mark in South African politics. Shivambu has announced that he's starting consultations on whether he should start a political party. The former Secretary General of the MK Party has, however, dismissed any speculation he might be leaving anytime soon. Dr. Doe says Shivambu is still quite young.
But of course, it could be a good idea to start with consultations, to get the views of other people out there so that you know exactly where you stand when you decide or when the time is ripe for the political party to be formed. Shivambu, with his history in the South African politics, he could not just be easily lost to South Africa. And age is on his side. He has got all the energy at his disposal, and I think he can still make a huge impact in the body politic of South Africa.
Meanwhile, Shivambu says he's not bothered about his membership being terminated by the Umkhonto weSizwe Party following his announcement.
We're in a listening session, and if MK thinks that listening is a cause